You want to find that drive and focus that has you locked in and on fire every single day? My book, The Mirror Motivation, will do it for you. I bought a copy for you. You take care of the shipping. The book is free. Click the link down there. I got you.
DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. I was just watching I saw a little clip of Steve Ballmer, who's the billionaire owner of the LA Clippers. Is actually the richest owner in all the NBA of all the owners. He was introducing Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to the LA Clippers because we know that they joined the Clippers this past NBA offseason. He was so excited and he was whooping it up and shouting and everything. He's always like that. And I quote tweeted that clip and said, if you don't feel that way at your job at least once a year, you should quit. It really should have been once a month. Forget once a year. It should be once a week, actually. Maybe ideally it could be every day. And the thing is, in life, a lot of us end up in situations that we don't really want to be in, but we don't want to take the initiative to get out of them. We're not excited about the situation. It might not be a dead situation. Like, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing that could be in life. It's mediocre. And that's really the worst place any of us could be. Honestly, it's not that terrible to be in a situation. Of course, we all want to be in an ideal situation where everything's great, right? I don't think it's that bad in life if any of us ever ends up in a situation where things are so messed up, like so fucked up, that we're like, I absolutely got to get out of this right now. I absolutely had to change something. I absolutely had to do something right now. It's not that bad to be in a situation like that. And I'm going to tell you why it's not that bad. It's because when we're in that type of situation, we immediately move ourselves to action. We immediately do something to change the situation. We immediately do something to rearrange our lives because we know I have to do something right now. And when things are great, we want to keep it that way. It's when things are mediocre, when we're caught in that middle right there, that's when people do nothing. When people are caught in that mediocre, it's not great, it's not ideal, it's not exactly what I want. I'm not excited about this on a daily basis, not even every week, not even once a month am I excited about it, but it's not bad, so, I'm all right, I'll just stay here. And a lot of people fall into this in life. And the older we get, the harder it is to fight against it because the older people get, we become more risk averse. The reason we become more risk averse because we know all the ways that we can fail. We know all the possible pitfalls. We know all the places where we could mess ourselves up. So therefore, we're not willing to take chances. We're not willing to try anything. We're not willing to go further. We're not willing to change anything. We're not willing to shake things up because we're like, man, even though this ain't great, it could be worse. And you know that it could be worse because you have all this life experience. You know about all these people. You've heard all the stories. You have friends and family who they tried something and things got worse. So now you're not willing to do it. And this is what keeps a whole lot of people stuck in the perpetual mediocrity. And perpetual mediocrity is really the worst situation you could be in life. A really fucked up rock bottom situation is not the worst that you could be in because when you're in that situation, if you're a smart person, and I think you're pretty smart, you're going to do something. You're going to change things. You're going to try something new. You're going to do something that you haven't done before or do it in a way that you never considered doing it before because you're like, yo, whatever I did up to this point, obviously something wasn't right. Let me do something completely different. It's when we're in mediocrity, we rock ourselves to sleep. We talk ourselves into, we hypnotize ourselves, literally hypnotize ourselves into believing, well, this is not that bad. I'm all right. It could be worse. So how about I just be okay with it? Why not just be thankful for what I got? There are people who have it worse than me. These are all the kind of things that we say to ourselves that hypnotize us into continually doing the same things over and over again, even when we know they don't work. And if you're older, I would say once people get to the age of, it's very relative, it's different for each person, but I say once people get to the age of about like their early 30s, like 32, 33 years old, people fall into these routines, these habits of thinking, habits of living, habits of being, and often don't change. Nothing changes about their lives from age about 31, 32. And it could be earlier for some people, it's later for others, through death. So you can live to be 90. They live the same lives year after year after year for the rest of their lives because they're not willing to change anything, even though they're not excited about it. So what I want you to think about is your work. your vocation, whether that be a sport, a hobby that you're in, a job that you work in, a business that you run, a relationship that you're in. Ask yourself, when's the last time you were really excited about it? You were like jumping out of your seat, excited about the possibilities of what could happen, excited about the potential that lay in front of you, excited about what you knew you could do in this situation if you got certain things to work the way that you want them to work. When's the last time you were really so excited about what you were doing that you could barely contain yourself? Has it happened once in the last 12 months? Has it happened once in the last 30 days? Has it happened once in the last week? Has it happened once in the last 24 hours? Has it happened at all? Can you even remember a time you felt that way about the situation that you were in? In any situation, I'm talking work, sport, business, hobby, relationship, anything. And if you can't think of that time, I mean, it might be time for you to consider that maybe you're in the wrong place. Maybe you're dealing with the wrong person. Maybe you're working at the wrong job. Maybe you've chosen the wrong path. And it's okay if that's what it is. It's okay if you realize that and realize that you had to do something different. That's the best place you could be in, is realizing that this is not what I want and I want to do something different. Actually, that's the second best place you can be. The best place you can be is, this is exactly what I want and I want to make this even better than it already is. That's the best place you can be. The second best place is, this is absolutely not what I want and something needs to change, and needs to change now. And I'm going to change it. That's the second best place you can be. The worst place you can be, and there's only three places you can be. The worst places you can be is, this is okay. It's all right. It's not ideal. You know, it could be better, but, you know, let me talk myself into being all right with this, because I don't want to shake things up. I don't want to risk the possibility of things getting worse. I don't want to put myself in a position where I tried to change things and it actually, you know, messed me up in the long run. That's the place that you don't want to be in. But that's also the place where 90% of the population resides. It's also the place where everybody's at every day. Not everybody, but you understand what I'm saying. Don't be that person. Don't get caught there. And some of you know, I mean, look at your lives on a day-to-day basis. Some of you have parents who are in this space. Some of you got older brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, teachers, bosses, coaches who are in that no man's land that I just described. They've been living there the whole time you know them. As long as you've been able to consciously think about it, this is the space that they've been in. It's no man's land. If it's not great, but it's not that terrible, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just stay here. Don't become them. Work on your game.